Hello, Slicey Dicers. Welcome to my final top 10 knives of 2020 video, but this one is not a top 10, it's a top 5, and that is because we are looking at knives over $300. And due to my own rules, it was not going to be super easy to pick 10 of them. 5 was a lot more accurate, and also it does kind of represent the ratio of knives that I review on this channel. We'll get to the rules in a moment and why that is. You will see I've already done 2 of these. This is the front page of my channel, by the way, youtube.com/SliceyDicey. I did top 10 knives under 100 for 2020, top 10 knives 100 to 300, which is kind of the sweet spot, I think. And also, you guys can participate in this, same as those 2 videos. Go to the community page up here, and you can click on that. There will be a poll that goes up the same time as this with the top 3, and you can choose from the top 3 what your favorite is. And on New Year's Eve, I will do a little video of what you guys chose for your number 1 of the year. So you'll get your choice for knife of the year, and it'll be fun. I'll do it in all 3 categories, same thing. So hopefully that one I can do actually normal style. I'm doing these all screen record because I don't have all the knives. So what are the rules for this? What do you have to do to qualify? Same as the others. Has to have come out in 2020. Please remember that before you start suggesting stuff down below. It has to be a new knife for 2020. Also, has to be somewhat readily available. It's pretty hard in this price range to make that 100%, but it has to be somewhat readily available. There are no knives in here that were one and done runs, which there are a lot in this price range. Also, it has to be something I experienced. So that eliminates a lot in this too, because like I said, my ratio, I review more in these 2 price ranges than in this price range. So yeah, it has to be something I actually experienced. If I did a review or not is kind of irrelevant, but I had to have had one at least in my hand long enough to develop an opinion about it. I'm not just going to put stuff up on here based on stats. So I think all that is explained now. So let's get going. I'm going to do these in no particular order except for the top 3. So here we go. First up, DPX Hest F Urban Tie. I've always been very intrigued by the DPX Hest. I've thought it was a cool knife. It's a bit gimmicky, but it's a cool gimmick, and I like it. It has a bottle opener on it. It's got wire strippers, which somebody pointed out in this review in the comments. That's what those are. I didn't know what those were, so that's cool to know. Also has a bit driver. But the major change for this year in the Urban, first of all, it's a little smaller, and it's made in the U.S. by Southern Grind, which is an awesome company, and they did great work on this. Runs on bearings, super smooth, thumb stud deployment, and it's still a Hest at the end of the day. Still has glass breaker on the end, all that kind of stuff. It's a multi-tool slash knife, and it's a damn good one. S35 VN full tie bearings, like I said. These start at $375. They are not inexpensive. They are 100% USA made by a very reputable company, and I think they're pretty darn cool. There are less expensive versions also still made by Southern Grind with G10 and CPM 154 steel. So if you want to go a little less expensive and get basically the same experience, you can do that. But really like the Hest, really like it in this version a whole lot. And it's Southern Grind. Next up, the Reeve Sebenza 31. Small or large, take your pick, starting at $375, but the only reason this isn't farther up the list is that this knife was more an evolution than a revolution. They moved the angle of the pocket clip to make it a bit more like the Inkosi so that you can flick it out a little easier without pushing on the lock bar. They also put the little ceramic ball interface on the lock bar instead of just it being tie on tie. They got rid of the locating hole. It's just little things. It still feels like a Sebenza 31 at the end of the day, and that's why it's not farther up the list. But it is a fantastic knife, and all those changes needed to be made, and I'm very glad that they did. The price on this, yeah, I said you're starting at $375 for a small. They go up from there. I prefer the large, but I own a small right now, which is kind of odd, but that's the way it worked out. But that amazing Reeve quality. I love the 31 a lot, but I'm more of an Inkosi guy, but still, it definitely deserves to make the list. It's a really awesome knife, and it is cool to see them making a few changes here. So definitely still makes the list, but doesn't make the top 3. Now the next one is kind of the same story as far as it being a version of another, but they made a lot more changes to it. That would be the Spartan Harsey Folder 3.25 inch. Love the Harsey folder, one of my absolute favorite knives, but it's 4 inch. It has a 4-inch blade. It's a big old knife. This, as the clever name would indicate, 3.25 inch. I'd forgive you to say it just looks like a scaled down version of the big one. It is in a way, but it's scaled down the right way. The blade stock is thinner. They've definitely redesigned a lot of the little, cutouts in the handle and things like that. It's definitely a lot more effort made to make it smaller than just putting it in the copier at 80% and, printing it out. They have made a lot of changes to it, and the overall experience is quite a bit different than the big one. I was surprised, really, especially when you put them side by side. It's a lot smaller than the 4-inch, but I love it a lot. Do carry a whole ton. You're starting out at $395 for it, but yeah, again, USA made. All these actually are USA made on this list. Spoiler. American made, good materials. S45 VN now on this. You don't have to worry about is it an S35 or S45 because they transitioned in their materials this year. These are all S45. They came out after they were well into using that. Currently only comes in this configuration, but Spartan, there's going to be special editions with all kinds of engraving and stuff on them, and I'm excited to see those. Next up, this is one that came out early in the year, and I think a lot of people kind of forgot about, but it's been in my mind to be on this list the whole year. Be the Hinderer Jurassic Gen 2. I love the Jurassic. I don't own one at the moment, but it's probably still, I think, my favorite current Hinderer. And, yep, there was a run in the beginning of the year. They're mostly all gone. You can still find them a few places, but there is another run coming. I can say that with some authority. I do know for sure. Very soon. Different blade shape. Not sure what it is yet. But great knife. It's a little bit smaller than your XM18. It's not quite a 3.5-inch blade. Just really good EDC size. Ergonomics are outstanding. Definitely the most comfortable in the hand of any Hinderer. And really do like the Jurassic a whole ton. Can't wait to see what the new blade shape is. I'm definitely going to get another one. These start out the usual Hinderer price, $425. Seems like everything from them is $425, but except the XM24s. But great knife. Eager to see what the new blade shape is. This is the Gen 2, which means a lot of changes. Primarily that you're going to notice over the old Gen 1, which has been gone for quite a while, is that it has the tri-way pivot. A lot of people think Gen 6 means tri-way pivot. That's not what that means. The XM18, their most popular model, got the tri-way pivot at Gen 6. So that's why people are confused about this. The Jurassic, which was not as popular of a model, got the tri-way pivot at Gen 2. If that makes any sense. But no matter what you name it, it's a great knife. Probably my favorite current Hinderer. Lastly, I don't know why I'm even trying to make suspense about this. I'm not. Everybody else who's put out their top whatever videos of the year this year for expensive stuff is going to be picking this too. I know all the major manufacturers, all the major reviewers love this thing, and I'm with you. It's the Demco 8020. This is the MG 8020 specifically, the $425 version. That means it has a machine ground blade. This is mine, and it will always be mine. I got the 3V blade. You can get a 3V or 20CV. Its party trick is definitely that shark lock. It is fantastic. Again, there's links down below to all the reviews of these. I highly encourage you to go watch my unboxing and first impressions of this and just how blown away I was by that shark lock. And it is not changed since then. I still giggle like a little girl whenever I'm opening and closing. Not whenever, you know what I mean. I really enjoy opening and closing this knife. It's just a fantastic knife. It's overbuilt without being insane. It's just such a fantastic design. Great blade, great ergonomics, that amazing shark lock, and $425 for the MG, not bad. If you want to get a custom one that has a hand ground blade, yeah, they're over $800. But I wouldn't recommend that. I would say just get the MG and be happy with it. I have two Demcos; they're both MGs, and I'm very happy with them. Don't really feel the need for the hand ground blade, but whichever one you choose, it's a fantastic knife. That shark lock is amazing, and they are becoming more and more available every day. He's done multiple runs in them so far, and there's more to come, and plans to make them even more widely available. So I think you're looking, February, March, April of next year, you're going to be able to find one of these pretty easy in some kind of configuration, and I think that is outstanding going forward. So my alarm is telling me to stop this video. No, it was actually telling me to get up. I started this video earlier than I planned on, so that was good timing. I'm just going to leave that in, not even getting it out. I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and again, on New Year's Day, or I'm sorry, New Year's Eve, you can watch the little what you guys chose, and there will be a link on the community page for you guys to pick your own stuff. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I've been Brian. Have a good one.